Okay, hello everyone. So you just watched a film, The Pencil, by Natasha Nazarova, and we have here her
Hi.
with us in 36 Haifa International Film Festival, and we are very happy that Natasha could be with us even online. My name is Asa Neifeld. I'm an Israeli actress and stage director, and I'm very glad that I have the honor to take interview with you. Both of us speak Russian, but we'll speak English so all of you can understand what are we
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
So Natasha, thank you very much for this film. It was very touching for me to
Thank
watch
you.
it, really. And I
Thank
want to
you.
ask right away about the theme, about the decabrist's wife. Me and you understand what are they, but the Israeli audience don't. So if you can just explain why did you choose, who are they and why did you choose to deal with this theme?
It's a wife that following her husband who is in prison. It's very big, very old, I would say
Russian
historical
tradition.
tradition, yes, and I would say the part of Russian mentality that wife should share the destiny of her husband. So I think it's very Russian thing, and so that's why I just decided to give my lead role character such action, such
It's
goal.
very, it's very Russian, and it's something all of us know. We grew up on it, right? The woman
Yeah.
who go after the hero. So
Yes. Yes.
are there still heroes in nowadays?
I think a lot. I know. I think that all wives that, for example, share the destiny or sickness of husband, and partly it's this way. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's much wider than just going for prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you called your film The Pencil, and the opening scene and the closing scene, if I understand, documentary.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
from factory, it's a real
Yes,
factory.
it's a real factory that now I think it's closed. I think
Oh,
we
because of the coronavirus?
it was very old fabric, and it was still in Moscow. It's funny that we made this shooting in Moscow. It was Moscow
Oh,
fabric, very old
wow.
pencil fabric in Moscow that we are quite hurrying. We had been hurrying up just to catch this location that we realized that soon it will be gone because we so so I think now I think it's not exist anymore.
Wow, it's good you catched it at
Yes.
good time. So what was it for you? Why was it important for you to start and to end the film with those shots?
It's because it's sort of symbolic things or this major main image of the film, like we are all pencils and our fate is different. Some pencil will be used for drawing, some pencil will never do something, so like all
And
this
someone will
conveyor
be
conveyor
broken.
is of destiny is like image of all like human fates.
Hmm. So if you're
Mm.
talking about this, tell me about hope, because lots of Russian film directors are accused by Russian audience and critics of being too dark. They call it chernucha in Russian.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
tell me if someone made the same observation about your film and how was it for you?
Of course, many people guilt me for such a dark end, but for me, by the way, it's not dark. I'm not agree
Oh,
that it is dark because the sacrificing of lead character is, I think it's most light thing. It's of course her death is a very big drama and tragedy, but she gave her life for this boy. And as far as metaphysical things, it's really action of that will bring her to a better life, I think. It's because I believe in that life after death, and I think that her destiny after death will be much better than ours. So
Wow,
yeah,
really?
so yes, that's why for me it's not dark end. It's a really happy end.
Wow, that's surprising. And the
Yeah.
boy, tell me, I was so afraid about the boy, because you're showing the boy on the Rhapsoda on the water. So at the end, the boy survives and she
Of
doesn't?
course. No, he survived and he escaped. She died, but he's definitely escaped. And so
So
he's,
it wasn't for nothing. Her sacrifice wasn't for nothing. It was
yes, of
worth it.
course, she saved the life of this boy, and he is escaping from this town, and now we see how he live in this town, and probably he will be an artist in the future. But anyway, she give her life for him. She gave.
Wow. Okay, it is optimistic. It's better than because
Yeah.
lots of films like Balabanov films, or even Zvyagintsov. No, Zvyagintsov doesn't have violence, but lots of films to create this darkness, they use violence. And I need to thank you that you didn't. There are almost no violence scene in the film, and me personally, I cannot just watch violence in films because I'm taking it too close to the heart. So I wanted to thank you for being gentle with us as an audience, and still, without those things, you still succeeded to create this squeezed feeling that I was like, okay, is there any hope for those people that you are showing them at the end, especially those who are going every day to the factory and back doing the same work? Is there any hope for them?
Of course, there is always a hope, but I just the major message of this film that the one person can change everything, and one person that has a real love and good intention, he can change a lot of things. It's depend of people. If they want to be changed, they will be changed. If they do not want, they will always live in this live their lives how they chose to.
Because
So
in your film, the framing that you made, the beginning and the end, created like a frame for it. And I'm with the characters, all the film. And then when you at the end show me the factory, I feel like it's something above. And it's not only about those people, the teacher and the boy. It's something, it's like Zvyagintsov does it in Leviathan at the end, when he's killing the main character. And you stay like, okay, and who do I supposed to feel sympathy? What was it all about? And then you see the prey of a preacher and you say, okay, it's something bigger. So it's the same what you did to me in your film, when the disclosure was something bigger than the story, the small story itself.
Yeah. I agree completely.
So if you say it's hope, it's good. And I wanted to ask you about the actors, because if I understand right, most of them are non-actors.
The lead roles are they are actors, but children and episodic roles are not actors. It's real people who lives in this town.
They are so real. you succeeded to make them really, I know those people, I grew up with them. I'm from small town in Ukraine, and I really know those faces, the way they talk to children. Wow, it made this very, very realistic. But how was it for you to work with them? Because it's very different than working with professionals.
It was great to work with them, because many of them are real teachers, it's a real people that who lives and work in this. So all teachers are, almost all teachers who play the role teachers are teachers. And for me, it was big artistic enjoyment to work with them, because this level of truth that I see, it's for me, it's like, for good musician, is like a very clear tone, very clear, pure tone of truth. And to me, once they understood how to work with camera, they become great. And to me, my favorite scene in the film, when this lead lady speak in the kitchen with the teacher of English. And this another woman, she is not actress. She is she works in orphanage house. And how she play, I just cannot believe that she's not actress, and that she's just real. And she to me, she's playing better than my lead girl, because
wow,
all destiny and how she looks at her, and how she lived in this scene. To me, it's big enjoyment. It was a funny thing when one girl who had been playing the role of director of the school, when she came to this shooting day, and she saw these 13 teachers who is already playing like big actors, she told me, "Oh my God, I cannot. I'm afraid to spoil them." I'm afraid to spoil this company. I go, please do not afraid. Just try to diffuse with them, just to get in very gently, but she did good. But I remember her fear.
Wow, it's like when actors say you can play on a stage, but if a little child or a dog or a cat come into a stage, it's dead. No one is looking at you, all of them.
Yes, it was really, really hard. Yeah.
Wow, and Misha Ponomarev also was a non-actor?
Yes, he's not actor. He lives in this house. He's orphan. By the way, this lady who had been playing this English teacher, she is his how it go, a tutor, or like she works with it. So she brought him to me, and I found him because of her. So, and he has big family. His eldest brother in the family, on all his brothers and sisters already has mental problems, because his parents are alcoholics. But he's one of the family. He has good mind, and because he's eldest, I think so they born him when they were still good. But I saw his brothers and sisters; they just already has problems. So he has quite a hard life. That's why I think his acting is quite truthful, because he knows this life very well.
This town, you've been shooting at the same town, right? Sigeja? How do you call it?
Sigeja. Yes, Sigeja. Yes, Sigeja.
So is the life similar to what you are showing us in the film? Is it real life of this town looks like this?
No, I would say that of course the criminal situation is a little bit better than in our film, because not in all Russian town we have this similar situation. I took a situation from Siberia towns mostly. Karelia, I would say it's a little bit more civilized as far. So I wouldn't say that it was so bad, but it was interesting because when the film was done, some people from Sigeja start to write me that how you guessed that what had been happening in our town, because we know the situation in the district where we made this shooting about 10 years ago was a similar situation, but it was 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yes, but it's still in some Russian towns not so good criminal situation. It's dependent town, depends on activity of police or non-activity of police. It's, I would say, but sometimes we have such problems.
And let's talk about the nature, this great autumn that you showed us. For me, it was so nostalgic to see it, those big yellow leaves. Wow. And this contrast that you make with this beautiful nature and this gray life, was it part of the idea?
Yes, of course. It's a contrast of it's a different spaces. With my cameraman, we planned it like we called it space of beauty and space of real life. So it was space of beauty. In this space, the teacher is trying to bring up her students, her pupils, to show them this space of beauty.
And she's quoting at the beginning in the movie those three parts. She divides the humanity to three parts: those who can see, those who can see if you show them, and those who cannot see at all. So do you think there are really people who cannot see already? Just not capable of seeing all this beautiful nature? I mean, if their routine is so hard, they just cannot already, they lost the capability of seeing it?
Yes, some people do not see the beauty. It's really so. And some people, and I would say that of course there is some beauty that everybody can see, but the ability to get enjoyment of this, it's a part of artistic talent. Enjoyment and how to see, because they start to see not only good scenery, I mean, that everybody can see, but little details of the scenery, how artists usually see. For example, beauty of little things, simple things. So I would say it's much more deep work of artists. So that's part of her philosophy.
In this scene when Vera and Tonya are sitting there together and she's smoking and she's asking her, do you think sometimes about what is this all about? And she's like, what for? So it was scary to see it. So do you think that really most of the people who have this gray routine, they just stop asking those questions?
Yes, they're afraid of this because her answer is quite scary, because she understands because Vera is a quite smart woman, and she realized very clearly once she will become to ask herself, she can get depression, or she will realize how she is miserable. That's why she prefer not to ask. That's why she said, why? I'm not going to ask myself such question. But everybody's know while a person is not asking herself, he will not move, or she will not move. And that's a real problem. Just to start to move, you should realize where you are now.
It's sometimes too scary to realize it.
That's why plenty of people, most of people do not prefer, especially people who live in not so easy life. For example, we made shooting in this house. It's a real home where people still live. It's like Ась, как это, общежитие.
Where maybe there's a communal community, some community where people live together.
Yes,
I don't think that somewhere there are still such houses except Russia.
It's
like
that we made it's a real house. And when we had been making shooting then many people even abused us and asked me, why you Moscow people came here to show our bad life? You'd better go to government and tell them how we live. Some people was drunk and quite dangerous to do shooting there. I still remember like we could not even sometimes start shooting because somebody came out from the door and started to scream and say not so good words about us. Yeah, it was funny and scary.
So you were exactly like your hero. You felt the same things.
Yeah, we were soaked in this space, in this atmosphere.
It's not simple atmosphere. So if I ask you at the end of our conversation, so do you think someone from outside can really come to some community with the order of it and interfere? Does he have the right to do it?
Yes, if he wants to help people, why not? If he's driven by love, why not?
Because lots of historically cases we know that it ended badly.
Yes,
someone is interfering.
Yes, of course, this environment here can kill this person, but it depends on the person and depends on how, I would say, the purity of his or her intention. If his intention are pure, he or she can do something.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a pleasure.